scale. You might mistake it for power scaling when I say this, but I actually mean it in a story building way. When a story, or in this case adventure, goes on for so long, the main character, or in this case Luffy, battling against rookie pirates, the warlords, the four emperors of the sea, it's a way of describing the difference in strength and progression in the story, but in a natural and powerfully conveyed way. And I believe Oda has mastered that. From the first time Luffy struggled against Crocodile, this was shown. Before, opponents like Alvida and Buggy the Clown seemed like small fry. Even Captain Kuro, Don Krieg, and Arlong, who pushed Luffy, still weren't what I would call a major threat. Though interesting and well-written villains, I believe Luffy's first actual major loss came against the fight with Crocodile in the Alabasta arc. First of all, the stakes were really high. His first encounter with the Crocodile, Luffy boldly went to fight him in the desert, and his crew moved on to help Vivi because they believed that Luffy could handle him on his own. So far, that's been true. Luffy's handled every villain on his own, and his crews left it to him while they handled the smaller villains. But the fight was easily one-sided. And this was our second introduction to a Logia-type Devil Fruit user. Logia users are basically like intangible human beings with a Devil Fruit power that gives them the ability of like gas or an element. In this case, it was a sand fruit. The first loss was devastating, as Luffy was left in the desert only to be saved by the mysterious Nico Robin. In their second encounter, Luffy was more ready. With his water to amp him up, when Crocodile would try to mummify him, Luffy could simply drink some water and his strength would be back to him. But even with that special power-up, Luffy was still at a loss. In fact, Luffy didn't win until their third encounter and the final battle with Crocodile. In writing, this is called the 3 try-fail cycle. Lose, lose, lose and almost win, and then win. In their third encounter, Luffy used his own blood to solidify Crocodile's particular Logia to harden him, and so his punches could land. And I like this. Luffy has his own clever, goofy way of figuring out how to beat stronger opponents. And it was done in a way that only One Piece could do it. But I'm not here to talk about Luffy, or general enemies of One Piece in particular. I'm here to talk about scale, and I'm here to strictly talk about Blackbeard and his third secret Devil Fruit. The first encounter with Blackbeard was in Mocktown. And when we first met him, he seemed like just another pirate. A weird one, and you knew in the back of your mind he was possibly a villain for the next arc, but Oda, like many other writers, plants seeds. And seeds need time to grow. We just need to remember to water them and that it's there. The first confusion I had pertaining to this theory is when Zoro and Luffy said they. This could be translated as Blackbeard's hidden crew that was also in that town, but how would they know that they were there? Did Oda already plant the seeds for observation hockey, or were they referring to multiple people inside of him? It was honestly in the air, but even I leaned towards it being his crew. Still, fret not. This is not my only piece of evidence. However, one thing we do know is that even though Blackbeard introduced himself to Luffy as Teach, this wasn't the first time that seed was planted. Blackbeard being a major threat was actually planted back in the Alabasta arc, somewhere in the middle, when we met Luffy's brother, Ace. It was said then that Ace was hunting a former commander of the Whitebeard pirates after he killed one of his subordinates for finding a devil fruit. Teach, aka Blackbeard, was after the Yami Yami or Darkness fruit. Damn, I love the name of these devil fruits and their powers. Anyways, we didn't know if the subordinate ate the fruit or if he had just gotten it and was going to eat it, but we did get shown a knife. Now, why is that important? Well, I'm going to be skipping around, and spoilers if it isn't obvious by this point. But later in the Dressrosa arc, Burgess, a member of Blackbeard's pirates, pulled out a weird-looking knife claiming he could steal a devil fruit belonging to Luffy's long-lost brother, Sabo, had eaten the flame fruit, or formerly the deceased brother Ace's. A moment of silence, please. And that was interesting, because in Marineford arc, we didn't get to see how Blackbeard got his hands on his second confirmed devil fruit, the Tremor fruit, which is a Promisia type. When Whitebeard was killed, one of the most legendary pirates and the kindest of the four emperors of the sea, a black veil was thrown over himself and Teach. And when the veil was removed, they were both standing there. So Blackbeard didn't consume him, he didn't eat Whitebeard, and it didn't take years for new devil fruit to form like the flame fruit did. It definitely had to be that night that we were just allowed to see, yet we didn't know about. And that was interesting, because in Marineford arc, we didn't get to see how Blackbeard got his hands on his second confirmed devil fruit, the Tremor fruit, which is a Promisia type. Once again, damn Oda, you are a seed planting genius. This was the first time we had actually seen a devil user with 2 devil fruits, and the third time that Luffy had encountered him. Their second meeting was just hours ago in Impel Down, when Luffy discovered that Blackbeard, aka Teats, the one he met in Mocktown, was the reason Ace was captured in the first place. And with them both competing to become the king of the pirates, it is without a doubt that they are fated to clash again someday in the future. But I wasn't sold on the Ceberus idea yet. Not until I saw his flag in Pirate Warriors 3, the 3-headed skull. Now, if you notice in One Piece, a Jolly Roger can represent many things, but it's always something about your power, your status, or your ability. And then I noticed Blackbeard's designs. This is the important part and the main concrete part of my theory. He has 3 guns. He put a 3-claw slash mark on Shanks' face. That's not by the same mark that we saw in Dressrosa. There are 3 devil fruit types: Promisia, Logia, and Zone. Promisia being like the Tremor fruit or Luffy's Gum fruit. Logia being like the Smoke fruit, the Sand fruit, or the Yami no Mi. Or the Zone fruit, which are basically like animal transformations or some kind of bodily transformation, like Chopper's human fruit. There's also 3 ancient weapons. One, which we know belongs to Shirihoshi, but we don't know about the other 2. We think one of them is with the Revolutionary Army. But again, that comes a reoccurring theme. 3. Now, Blackbeard has a Promisia and a Logia. Could Oda possibly be trying to say? Now, I know what you're saying. Hold your horses. You still might think this is a stretch. Until we get to Wano. In Oden's flashback arc, we find out about a clash between Gold Roger and the Whitebeard pirates. In a small few panels that you probably even passed over and didn't even think about, Buggy and Shanks are talking, and Buggy is watching Teach. He says, and I quote, "We've been fighting for 3 days straight, and that guy has never went to sleep. Bingo, and Ceberus was his name-o." What is the number one thing we know about the Greek mythology or beast Ceberus? It never sleeps. Think I'm still stretching? When Luffy had a musician join his crew, I always thought that was weird. I mean, I love Brook personally. He is funny as hell, and I've been to every Soul Brook concert. But what does a musician do? And what could it do to Ceberus? Put it to sleep. This is solid story planning. I mean, think about it. We took on a powerful enemy like Doflamingo. We went to Whole Cake Island and fought against Big Mom, not even putting a stretch on her, but beating 2 commanders. Now we're in Wano, and we have no choice but to take down Kaido, here and now. The scale cannot go lower. It can only go higher. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying Blackbeard is the end-all, tell-all, but if he's reaching for the King of Pirates title as hard as Luffy with a crew that can challenge Luffy beat for beat, it is without a doubt a solid theory. Blackbeard will reveal his Zone fruit.